We've got a really flexible space here, and we change it on average every sort of 8 to 10 weeks.
All the exhibitions are completely different, and everyone brings a different set of challenges.
You can change the look and the feel of it. Sometimes we change the wall colours. We've got screens on wheels that you can move around. You can use all of them or you can use none of them. It's really important not just to think about what you're putting in the space in terms of artworks, but also kind of how you configure it and what the experience is for the visitor going round that exhibition. You can create a mood with how you treat your exhibition space, a mood, an atmosphere. And I think visitors really respond to that. We actually have an exhibitions panel that considers all upcoming ideas for exhibitions.
I sit on the exhibitions advisory panel and I get to hear all of the different exhibitions that are put forward, and I'm able to have my say as to whether I think that they are going to be popular or not.
That's a really kind of healthy process, because if you consult with others, you know, not just at the beginning but throughout the process, you're much more likely to get it right. Considering your audience is like the golden rule. You've got to do that from the start, because the success of the exhibition will stand or fall on the extent to which it's visited.
Most of the time you can kind of work out what the audience is going to be, and you can really build it around them.
You distribute the focal points around the room because you want them to draw people in particular directions.
There's a really wide variety of different ways of laying out an exhibition, and it really is dependent on the space, what you're exhibiting, and what the curator is trying to express to the visitors.
There's always a narrative, a story that you're trying to tell. The narrative, in a way, dictates the order in which the works are displayed.
We do tend to do it chronologically. We can do it by theme occasionally.
People like to have a story, they like to follow a narrative, and if you can achieve that in your layout, then I think it makes a better exhibition.
The consideration when we create labels is really what we want the visitors to learn from the label.
I would never want a label on these walls that is longer than 100 words. No, short sentences, plain English, keep it relevant, and make sure what you say expands on what people are looking at.
We want there to be something visual that they can see, but also something physical and practical that they can do while they spend, you know, maybe an hour or so in the space.
We'll have lots of school holiday events for families, talks and tours as well for adults, but it needs to be related to whatever the exhibition is at the time.
The gallery shop needs to change every time the exhibition changes, because obviously every exhibition is different. So retail is an important part of the visitor experience because it extends the lifetime of that exhibition beyond the actual show. It means visitors can get their hands on something they can take home with them. It's that link between the visitor and the works on display.
You've got to get your message out there using as many different means and platforms as possible.
You need to focus not only on the title, because the title is what people are going to see before they see the exhibition.
Titles, a bit like labels, need to be pithy and to the point. They need to kind of mean something to your audience.
You also need to think about the photography you're going to use, the images you're going to use.
Posters, because that's how people really get an idea of it.
And definitely in marketing, one of your big considerations should be your budget. Marketing is quite an expensive thing to do. Placing an advert can cost lots of money, and you need to be mindful of the fact that if you place that advert, how many people do you then need to attract on a £4 ticket to make that advert pay for itself?
The more preparation you do in advance, the less pressure you'll be under when it comes to actually putting the work on display.
I think if you wanted to put on your own exhibition, my advice would be to really know your subject.
Have a clear idea of what you want to achieve, really have fun with it and develop something which you're really proud of.
Bounce your ideas off others, pull in as much help as you can from the outset. Make sure you're having fun.